The Mariners beat the White Sox 4-3, another come-from-behind win. That's back-to-back come-from-behind wins against the White Sox. And wow, I mean, you can complain, but a win is a win is a win in my book. Look, the Mariners had half the amount of hits as the White Sox, just 5 to the White Sox 10, but they get the job done. And that's all that matters. At the end of the day, when it comes to October, these are the games that are going to matter. You're not going to see the Mariners playing, quite frankly, worse than the worst team in baseball. What you're going to see is you're going to see a big old W. And that's all you can hope for as a Mariner fan. Yesterday, you really could have lost that game, and you end up winning. You probably should have lost that game, and you end up winning. Today, same story, different rhyme. You really could have lost that game, and you end up with a win. And that's kind of what the Mariners have been doing the last few games. 1 against the Royals, and now 2 against the White Sox. Now, all of a sudden, you're on a 3-game winning streak, and you're looking really good. And honestly, you haven't been playing great, but the vibes are up because you get wins. And that's literally all that matters, is you're getting wins. That is all that matters. At the end of the day, a win is a win is a win. So the Mariners, they win 4-3 in this one. They start out kind of cold. They go down 3-1, and then the Mariners, they battle back. They get a run back in the bottom of the third, and then it's Cal Raleigh once again who has the double. With a 3-0 count, he jumps on a fastball, puts one into the gap, and the amount of confidence you have to go on a 3-0 count and swing is absolutely ridiculous. Great stuff by Cal Raleigh. It's really showing the confidence he has right now. And despite him not playing great, I mean, he really isn't playing that well. And with runners in scoring position, he turns into the best player in baseball. It makes me want to just scream through my TV screen and say, look, Cal Raleigh, why don't you just hit like there's always guys at second and third base? Can you just always do that? Because outside of that, Cal Raleigh hasn't been great out in the month of May and June. But with runners in scoring position, he's one of the hottest bats in baseball. Since him coming into the league, I believe, I heard on the radio, I think he leads the league in like go-ahead hits in the 9th inning. He's absolutely clutch in a different sense of the word. He's ridiculous, ice water in his veins. He was built for the big moment. Once in a while, though, you hope he could do that in the small moment as well. So let's go over the box score before I get into Jonathan Diaz, who's also really impressive. Let's get into the box score. JP Crawford goes 0 for 4. Again, it's not a great day for JP Crawford, but I don't think it's time to ring the alarm bells quite yet. I wanted to touch on this in this one because I think it's a really good example of why JP Crawford is so huge was these last 2 games. So these last 2 games, JP Crawford picks up just 1 hit. But yesterday he had the 2 walks, and today he grinded out a lot of ABs. And I think that's something that this team really needs. If you look at the pattern that this team has, they are always seeming to get to pitchers late in the ball or late in the game. And that's because of guys like JP Crawford who works 5, 6, 7, 8 pitch ABs. He wears down the pitcher. He works walks. He gets long at bats, and he gets into the bullpen quickly. He gets the high pitch count from the starting pitcher, and the Mariners end up benefiting later down the road in spades. I mean, it's clear that JP Crawford, although not always being able to put it on the score box, the casual fan might just see his batting average, his RBIs, his hit total, and think JP's an below average shortstop. And although there definitely is an argument to be made from that front, when you look at the kind of underlying numbers, the way he works counts, his defense, his leadership, he's really, really important for this team. Should I think he'd be hitting in the 1 hole? I don't know if he should be hitting leadoff, but either way, I wanted to touch on why I think J.P. Crawford is so important. Despite him going 0 for 4 again tonight, I'm not super worried about J.P. Josh Rojas, he goes 0 for 3, but he does draw a walk. He ends up scoring. Rojas is another one of those guys where he's kind of the opposite of J.P. He jumps on every first pitch, and it allows J.P. Crawford's long ABs allows Josh Rojas to jump on pitches early, and he really likes to attack that first strike that pitchers keep trying to give to him. Kind of the Mariner philosophy of throw first strikes. He's kind of taken that philosophy, but put it to his hitting aspect where, look, the first pitch of the AB is probably going to be my fastball down the middle. I'm going to take full advantage of it, and that's kind of what Rojas has been doing, and it's been working well for him. So, J.P. Crawford allows guys like Josh Rojas to have that strategy. Julio Rodriguez, he goes 1 for 4, but he does have 2 runs. He touches home plate twice. Cal Raleigh goes 2 for 4. Again, clutch hitting from Cal Raleigh. He has 3 RBIs. 3 of the 4 runs the Mariners scored came off the bat of Cal Raleigh. He does it again. He's clutch. Maybe the most clutch hitter in baseball. He did it last night. He did it tonight. The Mariners, quite frankly, simply have 2 wins because of Cal Raleigh. That is absolutely great stuff. Again, he's not super hot right now, despite, I think, what people think. He hasn't had a great month of June, but I think Cal Raleigh is starting to turn in the right direction with these last few games. It'll be interesting to see how much guys like Mitch Garver and Seby Zavala play. Seby Zavala hasn't played since June 1st, and Mitch Garver has definitely been ramping up his catching responsibilities, which I'll touch on when we get to Garver and why I think it's important that he continues to catch. But I do think that Cal Raleigh having an occasional off day is definitely a good thing. I want to see Seby in the lineup a few more times, and if it's, if Seby's not in the lineup because the Mariners pitching staff doesn't want to catch him, then you DFA Seby Zavala. I think Seby Zavala is fine, but the point of your backup catcher is to catch. So if he's not compatible with any of your starting pitchers outside of George Kirby, you DFA him and you find a new catcher that is able to catch those guys. Because right now, Seby Zavala is serving absolutely zero purpose, and Cal Raleigh needs more off days. Mitch Haniger, he goes 0 for 4 after having a big night last night. Oh, well, what you can do, or maybe it wasn't last night. Either way, Mitch Haniger's been doing pretty good. Not tonight, though. Luke Raley, he goes 1 for 4. Just continues to find ways to get hits. It's kind of what he's been doing all year long. Big Luke Raley guy. I've been a big Luke Raley guy from the second we traded, a bag of chips and Jose Caballero for him. I've been a big Luke Raley guy, and he's been performing in another hit tonight. Mitch Garver, he goes 1 for 2, but he does draw a couple of walks as well in the DH position. And now you're really starting to see Mitch Garver turn things around, starting to get that butter churning, starting to really turn the pot and kind of develop into that player we all thought we were going to get. And I insinuated I was going to touch on him catching. And I'm going to make an argument for why him catching affects his game today. And Drew, and you might be saying, Drew, what do you mean? He was a DH today. How can it possibly be that him catching affects him playing in the game? Well, maybe it is a little bit of a reach, but I do think that there is some mindset stuff, maybe even a little bit of placebo going on, where, look, Mitch Garver, he comes into this organization after previously being a touch catcher his whole career, and the Mariners pretty much said, look, you're going to DH. We don't want to get you injured. You're a great hitter, and you know what you're going to do for us? You're going to hit the baseball. And Mitch Garver said, all right, I'll hit the baseball. But then he didn't hit the baseball, and that's a problem. For the one thing you're meant to do on the team is to hit a baseball, and you're unable to do that, well, shit. Now you got the pressure of the world on your shoulders. All of Seattle's like, wait, I thought Mitch Garver was good at hitting. He's a DH. He's not hitting. What other purpose does he really add to the team? What other skill set does he add if he's not able to hit? And Garver probably looked at himself and said, you know what? They're right. What am I adding to this team? And you continued to look up on that big board in center field, and you saw the numbers continue to fall down, approaching the Mendoza line, an OPS of 700, and he was like, man, what is happening? I used to be a good hitter. Then Scott Service puts him in the catching position once in a while. And it completely changes his mindset, in my opinion. Now, all of a sudden, yes, he's still expected to hit, but he's taking days away from Cal Raleigh. Now, all of a sudden, he's contributing as the catcher position. He's helping pitchers call good games. He's contributing in multiple different areas. The pressure of him just being a pure hitter is taking off a little bit. Now he's contributing in multiple ways. Now he can be a leader, he can catch a little bit, he can play DH, and he can hit. So now he's doing a variety of different things and not just laser focus on hitting. And I understand there might be a little bit more of an injury risk, but I think that Mitch Garver, his slight turnaround has been because of him catching. And because his mindset has slightly shifted where he look, I'm contributing in multiple different ways. I need to take some pressure off myself and just go up there and hit the baseball. And I think he's been doing that a lot better. He seems less anxious at the plate. Garver's been doing some great stuff. And again, today, another great day for him. Dominic Canzone, he goes over. Tyler Locklear, he pinch hit for him. He moved to first. Rayleigh moved to left field for Dominic Canzone. That's how that worked. Tyler Locklear went 0 for 2, and Ryan Bliss went 0 for 3. And you might be thinking, Drew, you said a lot of offers. Where did the hits come? And they simply didn't. I mentioned at the start, they only had 5 hits this game. Compare that to the White Sox 10. It's a rough night. 10 hits given up. But Jonathan Diaz, he just battles. He battled all game long. He gave up 9 hits, but in 5 1/3 innings, he put the Mariners in a position to win the ball game, gave up just the 3 earned runs, and that's all you can hope for. For a guy that gets called up last minute for your hottest pitcher right now in Brian Wu, to put yourself in a position to win. And that's what he did. He worked himself out of a bases loaded, no one out, second inning jam where he only allowed 1 run in that top of the second inning, and that was really the difference maker. He was able to work out of that, and he put the Mariners in a position to win this ball game. Jonathan Diaz, great stuff from you. It's good to see that he is able to kind of come up and be that spot starter guy along with an Emerson Hancock that we need to be. Obviously Hancock wasn't moved up because we don't want to use his options right now, and I think Brian Wu will be okay, so I think that was kind of the mindset. So Jonathan Diaz, good for him. He'll probably be DFA'd right back down to AAA Tacoma very shortly, but he served his role. So if you're Diaz, 1 star in the majors, even if he threw a no-hitter, he was probably getting DFA'd, but he did his job. He put the Mariners in a position to win, and Seattle capitalizes. Then the bullpen. They did a great job. Rest of the game gave up no earned runs. Trent Thornton 1 2/3, Mike Bowman 2/3. Taylor Saucedo came in with, it was bases loaded or a second and third or something like that. Comes in, shuts the door in the 8th inning, gives the 1/3 on the strikeout, and brings up the Goldilocks hair himself. Thor, Ragnarok, whatever you want to call it, Ryan Stanek, the temporary closer, as apparently Andres Munoz still is not ready to go despite being on the IL. 1 inning pitched, 1, 2, 3, see you later, goodbye, go back to the hotel. Chicago White Sox, you just lost another game to the Seattle Mariners. Well, the Mariners, they win another one. 2 games in a row against the White Sox, 3 games in a row now. And a win is a win is a win. I started the video like that. I'm going to end it like that. A win is a win is a win. Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter who's it against. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you had half the amount of hits against the worst team in baseball. It doesn't matter because a win is a win is a win. It doesn't matter that yesterday you should have lost against the worst team in baseball. It doesn't matter the day you probably should have lost. It matters you get these close wins, and that's really the thing that separates good teams from great teams. It's the ability to win when you don't play your best baseball, And the Mariners have been doing that the last few games, and you have to clap your hands, commend them, and say, great job, Mariners. Here's your flowers. Take a bow, because good teams lose these games, and great teams find a way to win. And in October, that's why I have so much faith in this team. The Mariners are a great baseball team. Get to the playoffs, the pitching will propel this offense, and the offense will do enough. They will hit enough. They will do just enough in timely positions with runners in scoring position that I think the Mariners could be really, really dangerous. Do not sleep on the M's. They show it again tonight with a big win against the White Sox. That's about all we have time for on the NW Sportscast post-game show today. The Mariners looking to take the series tomorrow, 6:40 p.m. pitch. Once again, against the White Sox. It's a 4-game set, so the Mariners still need to win tomorrow if they want to lock up this series W. Thank you, everybody. This is the NW Sportscast. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed the content. And as always, go Mariners. See you guys.